Welcome to the San Juan Islands, quite the picturesque landscape tucked away between the United States and Canada. These islands are known for their stunning beauty and tranquil waters, which attract visitors from all over the world. But did you know that this peaceful bliss was once the site of one of the most bizarre conflicts known as the Pig War? The story of the Pig War begins in the mid-19th century, a time of notable tension and territorial disputes between Britain and the United States. They had already fought in the American Revolution and the War of 1812. The Oregon Treaty of 1846 was set up to resolve boundary issues that occurred between the two nations. Both the United States and Britain claimed these islands, leading to a unique and quite unexpected confrontation, which is like no one had ever seen before. Settlers from both nations began to live on the San Juan Islands, and each group was confident that their nation would lay claim to the land. In the south, the Americans would primarily control those parts of the islands, while the British, under the Hudson Bay Company, would settle in the northern regions. Despite all the territorial issues, life on the islands was up until that fateful day in June 1859, relatively peaceful. On June 15, 1859, Lyman Cutler, an American settler, discovered a large black pig rooting through his garden. This pig wasn't some wild pig, but he had an owner. That owner was Charles Griffin, who happened to be an employee of none other than the Hudson's Bay Company, which allowed the animals to roam free. The pig was consistently trespassing and laying destruction to Cutler's crops. So, in order to prevent this from reoccurring, Lyman Carter shot and killed the animal. Cutler's actions set off a chain of events that quickly escalated tensions between the two settler groups. At least Cutler was nice enough to inform Griffin of the incident, and this is where everything took a turn for the worst. Griffin demanded payment for the pig. Cutler, feeling generous, offered to pay $10, which he thought that had to be more than fair. I mean, that's around $400 today, which that would be shy of the standard rate for a pig by several $100s. And who's to say the pig was more of a pet to Mr. Griffin, so no amount of money would ease the pain. Griffin insisted on more money, which led to quite the heated argument. British authorities were now getting involved and threatened to arrest Mr. Cutler, accusing him of unlawfully killing Griffin's property. In response to the threat of arrest, the American settlers called in the cavalry and asked for military protection. The U.S. Army sent in Captain George Pickett. This would be the one and the same Captain Pickett that would later be famous for Pickett's charge at the Battle of Gettysburg on July 27, 1859. Captain Pickett arrived with a small group of troops for the San Juan Island, making camp near the American settlement, which was basically a defiant action, declaring the island as U.S. territory. This bold and calculated move further escalated the situation, which prompted the British to send in 3 warships to the area. You have heard of the face that launched 1,000 ships. Well, now you have heard of the pig that launched 3 ships. For several tense weeks, the two sides faced off. Heavily armed and prepared for battle, the Americans fortified their position under Pickett's leadership, while the British warships anchored away nearby, ready for the call if necessary. Yes, all because of a shot pig. Despite all the stakes and potential for more bloodshed, both sides exercised great restraint. The presence of military forces from both sides brought more attention to the situation at hand. General Winfield Scott, commander of the U.S. Army, was dispatched to negotiate a peaceful resolution. General Scott, aka Old Fuss and Feathers, had training as a lawyer and had been a long-time soldier. He was the man for the job. With the emergence of General Scott, the British authorities sought to de-escalate the situation. Recognizing the absurdity of going to war over a pig, plus given the fact the last 2 wars didn't go so well, this was the time to create peace and try to negotiate a peaceful means to this situation. Both countries agreed to a joint occupation which would last over a decade, with both sides coexisting peacefully on the island. During this time, soldiers from both sides would develop a camaraderie, often visiting each other's camps and engaging in friendly competitions. The death of a pig almost brought destruction and chaos to the San Juan Islands, incidentally led to a better relationship between the United States and England. It wasn't until 1871 that the dispute over the San Juan Islands was finally brought to a formal resolution. Both the United States and Britain agreed as part of the Treaty of Washington to have an arbitrator, none other than Kaiser Wilhelm I, newly crowned Emperor of Germany, was chosen for that role. After careful consideration on October 1872, Wilhelm favored the United States, recognizing the San Juan Islands as American territory. Today, the San Juan Islands are an example of how diplomacy can triumph over conflict. The Pig War is remembered as one of the oddest and most peaceful conflicts in history. A near war sparked by the death of a single pig stands as a testament to the importance of dialogue and negotiation in resolving disputes, no matter how trivial they may seem. If you are ever in the area, visitors to San Juan Island can explore various historical sites that commemorate the Pig War. These include the American and British camps, now part of the San Juan Island National Historic Park. Here, you can walk the grounds where soldiers once stood ready for battle. Visit restored buildings and learn more about this unique chapter in history through informative exhibits and guided tours. The Pig War is a fascinating example of how even minor incidents can escalate into major international disputes. It highlights the complexities of territorial claims and the importance of clear communication between nations. Visitors are often told of the Pig War and that it was a Cold War between the US and Britain on a very small scale. It demonstrates that cooler heads can prevail, even with potential conflict. The only life lost was the pig, which I am sure animal activists, rightly so, could be outraged. Can you overlook two governments that took the high road instead of spilling more blood? If only governments today would use the Pig War as an example of how to solve a problem, there would be less violence around the globe. Sometimes we forget the impact of individual actions, but they have a greater scope. Just ask Lyman Cutler about his simple solution to resolving his problem by shooting the pig. This had far-reaching consequences. It's a reminder that everyday events can shape the course of history in unexpected ways. Beyond its historical significance, the San Juan Islands offer a wealth of natural beauty and recreational opportunities. Visitors can enjoy activities such as whale watching, kayaking, hiking, and exploring charming towns filled with local art and cuisine. The island's rich history and its stunning landscapes make them a unique destination for both history enthusiasts and nature lovers. No one is paying for our promotion of the San Juan Islands, but at the same time, we wouldn't pass on it. Thanks for joining us on this journey through history. The Pig War of 1859 is a testament to the power of diplomacy and the importance of peaceful conflict resolution. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating stories from the past. Until next time, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the smallest incidents can have the biggest impacts.